Gonna change the world with my hockey stick. Gonna make a real difference. Feed the poor and heal.
Number 3, Puck Daddy Show.
Number three,
Number
third,
three,
three,
the third.
the third Puck Daddy show.
How are you supposed to word it? Welcome back from New York, Chippy.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You were, I wouldn't say you were hungover, but you were in a coma after returning from New York for the stadium series.
Yes, it was a 5-day boys trip, road trip. We left on last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it was a 10-hour drive with 5 of us in a car.
I saw a few of your buddies, Prince Huda and
Yeah, Prince. It was OJ, Quinn, and Ben, and me.
Taking turns sleeping.
All in a
Did
car.
you drive at all?
I drove the first leg because getting over the border is always just a nightmare. I don't know. I get so nervous for no reason. I'm just like going.
And then you have that nervous energy when you.
Yeah, then I'm like shaking. My buddies are trying to like make me not nervous by talking in the line. I'm like, guys, let's just be silent. I want dead silence. I'm like,
right.
And then I'm literally coming up, and my buddy Quinn's like, oh, just so you know, like my real name's Gabriel on the passport. My middle name's Quinn. And I'm like, bro, what? Not right now. Literally, as I'm approaching the door, I'm like, bro, what? And then, so I pass him the 5 passports, and going into the States is like so much more chill, like than coming back into Canada, like 100%. Like,
really?
Oh, the guy was a beauty. So I passed him the thing. I'm shaking. I'm like shaking with my passports. 5 of us in a car. Yeah, it was like we're going to the stadium series. We're to watch 2 hockey games.
I think it's the U.S. is more strict on people exiting.
Yes,
like they want to make sure that you're not importing goods.
Yeah. Well, that's like the Canadian border. So that's like coming back into Canada. For me, it was like.
Whereas when you're on your way there, unless you're like bringing illegal substances or something, then there's nothing really to worry about.
So we get there. So the guy's like, oh, like. Whatever. I'm like shaking. I'm nervous. I'm like, going to the stadium series.
We're just going to watch hockey.
And then he's like, so we were going on the Wednesday. Stadium series not till the Saturday. So he goes, oh, like, well, what are you gonna do beforehand? And I was like, and luckily I thought about it. I was like, oh, we're gonna go to New York and we're gonna go, go on outdoor rink or whatever because we had skates.
Oh, that's true.
And then, so we go.
Big Apple.
Big Apple. It's like we're going to New York. We're going to New Jersey to watch this thing.
You don't go to New York for one night and come back.
But this guy's like, he's like chill, man. He's like, so he gave the passports back, but now we're just in like a conversation. Now we're talking about, like, I was like, oh, like, where should I go to eat in New York City? He's like, and then it was like. It just like dragged on. Now we got the passports back. I'm like, let's just go.
As mid conversation,
he's like,
you just start driving. It's like, yeah.
You can't leave. Technically, gave the passport, but now it's like it's all up to him to let us go now. So now we're like talking about chopped cheese. We're talking about where Barstool Sports. We're talking about. I'm like, this guy's a beauty, man. So he got us flowing. So we got through the border, and then we took another. Like my buddy put it on like no toll route, so it was like a 7-hour drive turned to like a 10-hour drive.
Oh,
so, like, bro, we roll in, and we didn't have a hotel room for the Wednesday night. So now we're like, it's like 9:45. I'm like, we have an hour left in this drive, and I'm like, calling the hotel, like, yo.
Yeah, it can get a bit sketchy trying to get a room later at night. Sometimes, even if you want to check in, like just to crash for like a couple hours before, like near the airport or something like that, they'll charge you for a full rate, even though you're only there for like 2 hours.
So that's what happened. So we call or whatever. And then there's 5 of us, and the NHL was bringing us out, so we had 2 rooms that they had for us the next night on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not paying for 2 rooms, boys. You know what I mean? I'll pay for 1, and we're all. So we get 1 room, double bed, and I'm like, okay, perfect. We'll just get like them to bring up a futon when we get in there, right? There's 5 of us, so I let the 2.
Oh, they didn't have like a pullout?
No, no pullout. So it was 2 doubles and nothing, and there was a chair in the corner.
Right.
So I was like, oh, perfect. We'll just call in for a futon. So
short straws for who sleeps in the car.
Exactly. Exactly. So it was freezing. So we were like, oh, it's better than the car. So then I was like, okay, boys, I'll sleep on the futon. You boys take the beds or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we call the desk. Like once we get to the room, they're like, oh, it's a fire hazard. We can't bring up.
What?
We can't bring up another bed or whatever. So
that's
I'm like,
BS.
No way, man. So I got this chair in the corner, and I'm like, boys,
curl it up.
And I can't make the boys like, you know what I mean? It's like Chip's gotta like. Take the chair. Like I'm not gonna make the boys one of the boys sleep on the chair.
You took one for the team.
So then they're like, okay, we won't send up like the bedding or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, can I get 7 pillows delivered to the door? So I'm like, well, I'll make my own mattress.
And it's equally as much a fire hazard,
Yeah,
if not more.
Exactly. But they took forever, so we were starving. I'm like, okay, can we get these? And then they didn't come. It was like 20 minutes.
Right.
They're like, can we get these pillows? So whatever. So they delivered like 4 of them.
Dude, it's easier if you just go down to the
I know. I
lobby.
should have.
Like, go get food, grab them on the way back.
This hotel, like, they were like nasty at the front desk. Like, we asked them, like, they were like, what can we help you with? Like, just like not wanting to help us at all. So we get 4 pillows delivered. So I'm like making this contraption. We're taking the table from the other side of the room, bringing it over, putting the pillows, bro. It was like the sketchiest. Well, because I just needed to be able to lean back. It wasn't like you couldn't really put your legs up, so I couldn't just sit with my legs down and sleep. So I was like, I need to get some elevation.
Right.
So we put the table, we put the bed, put the rolly chair, and set it up in the room. So, but then
you wake up rolling across.
Oh no, it collapsed, and then my back was murked the next morning. That was night 1 on the Wednesday. We roll in, and then the next day we had the skate at 4:30 p.m. on the MetLife Stadium.
Right.
So it was pretty cold. It was probably like -1. Like, it wasn't freezing.
Right.
But it was good for the outdoor. Like,
depends if it's windy or not.
Exactly. A little bit windy, and that MetLife Stadium's like a wind tunnel because
Yeah.
it's open, and it's like open on the outside too.
Oh.
So it's like just wind come. It's like turbulent. It's like turbulent. So 4:30 was we were gonna go on the ice. None of my buddies had skates except for Quinn, who was gonna film me.
Right.
And then we get there, and then I guess they had like a box full of, because none of the creators were like hockey creators. They were all
That
just
always happens.
Yeah, so they were like, oh, but none of us have skates, so they brought a box of these like
Rental skates.
but they weren't even rental skates, bro. They were like, I've never even seen these things. They
With
had like
the buckles.
They had the buckles, and I'm like, I don't even know how you guys are gonna skate on these. So they're like, I was like, boys,
They probably didn't have any hollow or profile on the blade.
no, there was probably atrocious. So I was like, boys, like, do you want to go? Like, they're like, yeah, we want to go. And like my buddy Ben, I don't think ever skated in his life, maybe a couple times.
Right.
And then Prince. And then
Would they let you out on the ice without
everyone? There's
skates?
like 60 people out on the ice,
Jeez.
or like 50 probably. And then so we get out there buzzing around, and I'm like, okay, now I need to get some clips for the NHL for the.
And this is at MetLife Stadium.
It's at MetLife on the Thursday.
And they had the ice all set up already for the game.
So I guess there's like doing like a couple different things.
Probably finalizing some stuff.
Yeah. So the ice it was good because the sun was down. Because the next day they had to cover it so no one could skate on it. They weren't even gonna do practices
because it'd be too warm.
Yeah. So whatever, we get there at like 5.
Right.
We're buzzing around. I'm like getting my clips, but there's like half the people don't even know how to skate.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're trying to buzz around, you're trying to get your clips, but no one even knows like a shootout line. Like no one's like getting in line to do the shootout. So like everyone's just like kind of going, and I'm like, bro, can we just get like a shootout line going so we can get some clips? Yeah. So then I go.
Gotta bring me next time just to film you.
I know. So whatever. I'm buzzing around, and then I guess someone like these guys never played hockey, so they wouldn't even know not to go behind the net when you're right. So this guy's in the corner. I'm watching. I'm like, all right, perfect. I'll go.
Talk about unwritten rules.
Yeah, unwritten. Yeah,
we got it. We're gonna draft unwritten
rules. Like unwritten rule, that is a huge one.
Yeah,
just don't go behind the net when just ever.
Yeah.
So this guy, I guess, didn't know. I'm breakaway, and I'm like focused on my shot. I'm like looking at the ice, like
yeah.
And then so I like
on a shootout, you're not exactly scanning for people.
Yeah, exactly. This guy, and then so I guess I tuck this thing in to do a little toe drag, like trying to label the top left corner.
Yeah.
When I say this, like I wired this thing. Like this thing was a toe drag. Like I'm looking for a clip.
Yeah.
Put it under the bunk, and this guy ducked a half, like probably missed him by an inch, bro.
Felt the wind.
Like everyone in the thing was just like, oh my, and I felt horrible.
Was he in the rental skates?
Yeah, he was in the rental skates, could barely skate, and this guy ducked, bro. He ducked the puck, and I was like, I almost just removed you from the earth, bro. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, that was...
Welcome to hockey.
I was like, don't skate behind the net, okay? That's the rule number 1 in hockey. So that was a very eventful Thursday. I felt really bad after that.
Yeah, you're barely 24 hours into the weekend. So give us a high level... Before you go in through each day, give us a high level. Like, so that happened Thursday, obviously after a day of travel, long day of travel. Friday, what happened? Saturday, what happened? And then I'm assuming you came home Sunday?
Yeah, or Monday.
Monday? Okay.
Yeah, it was a long, that's what we were...
That's a long weekend, yeah.
So we're eating out every day.
Can you even call it a weekend?
Bro,
5-day weekend?
Like 6 days. So yeah, I guess the Friday, we went surf.
Oh, I saw your
the
stories.
Friday? Was that the Friday?
I saw your story.
Yeah. So Friday, Naylor Neal booked the surfing across the hotel.
He looks like he would love surfing.
Oh, he's a snowboard guy. He's a skateboarder.
Knows nothing about hockey.
But he likes. So he's like he booked it. We were talking about it like a couple months ago, and he's like, "Would you go like surfing across?" Because I guess it was the American Dream Mall has like hockey rink. You could snowboard in there and you can surf.
Snowboard.
Yeah, you can snowboard. There's indoor snowboarding.
Oh my.
I wish we
That's
did
wild.
that, but it was like no, the surfing. So Friday was surfing, and then we were gonna get to do some videos with some of the NHL guys,
Right.
and then the Saturday was the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously.
Islanders versus, or no, it was New Jersey versus Philly, and then
Islanders and New York.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Those New York jerseys, like the Rangers.
nasty.
That was my favorite.
Those were nasty, dude. So I get on the Thursday. We get there, and then they had custom jerseys for everyone. So they got me the New York Ranger one with the Coach Chippy on the back, 16. I was
That's
like,
nasty.
That's nasty.
I like that. Yeah, I looked at all of them, and the New Jersey one looked great, but it also just looked like kind of like a normal jersey.
It was pretty nasty though. That the red and the black. It was
like it was well done.
classic. It was,
but I'd say it didn't look like a outdoor game jersey to me.
Yeah.
Like I could see that being an alternate jersey, and it'd be a fire alternate jersey.
Fire alternate jersey.
But like the New York Rangers one for me with the diagonal lettering and stuff, like the big letters too.
I was like, this is
Nasty,
what I
yeah.
need. This is what I need to be wearing on the ODR.
Yeah.
So okay, that's the wrap up. So Friday, we wake up and it's 10 a.m. and I'm not a morning guy. You like we're filming this at what time?
1:30.
1:30. Yeah, because Chip was sleeping till 11.
Yeah.
So 10 a.m. was the surfing. I've never surfed before, so I'm like, we got to get there a little early because we got to do like a little lesson or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Naylor Neal has it booked out, and so I show up. We show up to this mall. I'm like, yo, is this like I've never been to this mall. Crazy. They have like a whole like water park in the mall and a wave pool. Like it's not. I thought it was just gonna be that little surfer thing. No,
with the jet.
Yeah, the jet with the little. I'm like, okay. And then so I
those
get,
low key look fun too.
they look awesome, and I was like, that's dope. Like perfect. Let's do that. And then I get there and it's like a full on like beach, like wave pool with like a sunroof. The sun's blasting through. It was like hot in there.
Yeah.
And so we're doing this little lesson. I guess Naylor has surfed before. Neil has surfed.
Of course he has. He's got the hair for it. Yeah.
And then so I'm like, I've never like really surfed, but like I can snowboard, I can skateboard. Like I've surfed once, I've wakeboarded. Like I know I can do this. So the guy's like, we only have an hour. So the guy's like, well, do you want like a lesson? And I'm like,
want to just
or do you want to send it to the deep end? I'm like, like send me to the deep end, I guess. So then they're going over the rules. They're picking the board. And then I guess the one girl came out. I might have fallen in love with this surf instructor. So I'm like, okay, maybe I do need a little bit of lessons. Maybe I need a couple lessons
She
here.
can give me a lesson.
So I was like, yeah. So I did need lessons. I didn't know what I was doing. So then she gave me some lessons, and then so we filmed like a whole vlog. It's pretty funny.
You learn on the fly.
Yeah. So she was dope, and she taught me how to get up, how to get to the board. But then they sent me right into the deep end. I guess she didn't tell the other guy that I'd never surfed before. So he's like, oh yeah, just pop in. And like, he just sent me. He didn't even tell me what to do. And I'm like, all right, let's go. So the first wave, I kind of catch it. I stood up, but I bailed. And then I was a natural after that. I got up and figured it out, switched to the small board. But that was like an unreal experience.
I feel like that would be the hardest part is getting up on the board.
It is. Well, the hardest part is so he's pushing me into the wave.
Yeah.
But if you're actually surfing, you have to pedal. Like
get into it.
The arm workout.
Yeah.
Surfing is like shoulders. Like, you wouldn't even like believe it. Like it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, you gotta have some good shoulder mobility.
Oh, and those
the lats to pull back like that. The long arms. Yeah,
it was like exhausting for an hour, but it was like so fun. Like I want to go surfing. I want to go to Hawaii. Like I've been once, but that was unbelievable. And then I didn't really know after. Like we had spoken a little bit about maybe doing some player skits, but that wasn't like really confirmed yet.
Like you didn't know how long you had them for,
or didn't even know if it was going to happen. And then so Naylor after that was like, yeah, we're gonna go over at noon to the MetLife Stadium, and I don't know what players are gonna be, but we're gonna
have a few minutes with each.
Have a few minutes or whatever. So I'm like, all right, perfect. Like,
and were the other creators there getting time with them too?
It was like a dog.
Or did they not even know what to do?
No, so it was a dog. So their creator was a corgi dog.
What?
I was laughing because I'm like, this is my competition. They're bringing me in to compete with a dog. I'm like, oh no, Chippy's a dog himself. And then there was the two brothers that do trick shots were there, and they brought like this really cool fun.
Oh, I
game.
saw that. Yeah.
So sick.
They made up like a rubber band thing. You try to get it on like a chapstick thing.
Exactly, and it lands on a glue stick.
It's like a redirect thing. It's a very simple trick, but it's one of those ones that it'd probably take a while to.
I sat there and I was not going to leave until I got there because
after a certain point you have to get it.
Yes.
You can't just dedicate 10 minutes and then give up. You got to like commit to it.
So I was talking to them and they were like saying like 72 hours a couple times, like for their trick shots, like the longest ones take forever.
Jeez.
So whatever. So now it's like we're waiting. I don't know who's coming. I guess Philadelphia's practicing first. They're like, all right, like who, like we might get you with some of these players.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, they kind of gave a couple names, and I like Morgan's name came up, and he played in Barrie, and I grew up playing. So like I was like, I knew him. My buddies know him. So I was like, bro, give me Frosty.
I picked him for my Tim Hortons picks today.
Jesus, he's gonna light it up. He's gonna light it up. He's got that little style and flow bump.
Yeah.
So we're kind of chilling. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do Morgan Frost. That'd be awesome. Like young guy, he'll be a beauty. And then so we're waiting around, and I guess I guess the players just kind of come out to like check out the rink. So the whole Philadelphia Flyers team comes out. We're kind of like just chilling off to the side.
Yeah.
And like for me, like I don't know if I should be saying something to these guys or just like chilling off the side. So I'm just chilling with my buddies, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Joel Farabee comes.
Oh,
it's
nice.
like he's the first one that kind of like came over and like saw me
Initiated a
initiate. He's
convo,
like, so I start talking to Joel, and then next thing you know, Cam Atkinson comes over.
Oh,
he's
nice.
like, oh, bro, I watch all your stuff. Like
him and Nasher.
Yeah, the battery hockey.
Yeah, the battery hockey. He's done a few videos.
So I had no idea.
So I imagine that he's familiar with some of the hockey creators just because of Nasher and stuff.
Well, I think he's a business partner in that battery hockey.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I'm like, so I was talking about Nasher, talking a little bit about just. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that connection at all. So I was like, we're just kind of chopping it up, and then next thing you know, Frosty comes over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Frosty, like I got you doing a video today. I got you doing some acting today. He's like, oh no way. We were just chopping it up, talking about what it's like to be like in the NHL and like the traveling and the.
Nice.
I was asking.
Were you mic'd up for that or no?
I have a vlog. I don't know if I'm probably have to like send it to the NHL before I release it.
Yeah, because it's too behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was. I got it all documented. I was mic'd up. So I was chopping.
Even just the interviews and stuff.
Yeah. So I was chopping it up. And I was asking like, well, how much time do you guys get off? And they said Tort's gonna give them some time. Like he's really good at that, like giving them some free time to like roam around and do their own thing.
Like in between games or like in new cities while they're right.
I was like, are you guys practicing all the time? Like, what's this travel schedule like? And they're like, no, it's pretty chill. Torch is a beauty. So and then Torch walks by, like just. I was like, I forgot I'd done a skit about Torts.
Yeah,
I did the. Well, I guess when they got the guy traded from Anaheim, so I remember I made.
Oh yeah, Drysdale and
Torts.
Logan Gauthier, I think.
Yeah, Cutter Gauthier.
Cutter Gauthier. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, boys, I don't think I'll be in the doghouse. I'm talking to the boys. I'm like, oh, there's Torts. Like, I don't think I made a skit about Torts, and I had made a skit kind of about Torts, but it was funny. And then some of the staff came up and they'd seen the video, so that was cool.
Right.
But that was the beginning of the day, so we're like full of energy. I'm like flowing. It's sunny out.
Mm-hmm.
This is right when I got there. And then I guess 10 minutes later, the boys would like the Philadelphia Flyers went back, and then Frosty came back out.
Right.
And I was like, okay, this is it. Like
it was good you got to break the ice before doing it, so that he was kind of like he knew it was coming.
Yeah. I literally told him a skit. I'm like, this is the skit.
Yeah.
Like,
so he could mentally prepare for it. So it's not like the awkwardness of like, oh, I'm nervous now.
But he's also like he's a beauty. Like he's like super like. This is the guy that's super chill, like
Frosty, the snowman.
Yeah, Frosty's a beauty. So like, I kind of pitched it. And he's like, all right, perfect. Like he understood the assignment.
Right.
The whole assignment was like, I'm telling these guys stuff their coaches are never gonna tell them. Like look your teammate off on a 2-on-1 and throw it under the bunk, in front of 8,000. Like that was like the idea behind it.
Right.
And it was like, in warm ups. Like,
that's pretty funny with Torts as the coach.
Yeah. So I'm like, just like like a lot of coaches are gonna say shoot low, but like how nice would it be to throw one under in front of 8,000? So I was like, all you guys gotta do is be like, yes, coach, like, got it, coach. And like, so like Frosty was the first one of the day, and then I guess they were doing like the sound check in the arena, so it was like so loud, and I'm like, so I told the NHL, I'm like, could we get like them to turn off the sound check? Because I'm like the skits
just while I'm filming this.
Yeah. So they ended up, it was dope. They turned it off, and we had full silence. But then like everyone's like watching us film it.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. So I'm like, I'm like, quick, Frosty, get over here, and Frosty, like we filmed like four full sketches. Like,
right.
so I was like, we got to get this perfect like this.
Mhm.
So like
You could probably combine a few too. If you
yeah,
need to.
exactly.
Yeah,
So I was like, let's just get a whole bunch. So Frosty was a beauty. Ended up delivering the lines perfect, the shoulder. And then it was funny. I guess my nervous tick was I was just tapping these guys on the chest.
yeah.
So someone commented of like I counted 55 chest taps. Well, because also to engage them, like I felt like just like you're like
Little
hitting them.
tap. You're
You know, we're beauties. Like, you
you're
know, this
engaging
isn't
them, yeah.
like an interview with like a normal interview. Like
you
this
don't have the mic. You're not standing there.
yeah, like you know, your hands around me, like we're
Yeah.
you know, we're boys.
Uh-huh.
So that was
It would have been funny if you had them sit down on a bench and you're just like leaning over their shoulder and tapping them on the back of the shoulder.
I know, like
you know?
came in like Chippy.
you got the one leg up on the bench.
Yeah,
you
so
got...
it's like Chippy, how'd you get in here? Like that was the whole idea. Like Chippy snuck in.
yeah.
So that was the first one. Frosty was a beauty. I'm like, this is boom. We got the video we needed. Like this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it was the way because they have to go on the ice, and now we're standing outside, and I'm starving. I'm like getting real hungry. We have no food, no drinks allowed on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So we're waiting for like the next team, which would have been New Jersey. But then it was like, oh, they're not going to practice. So like
They're not even in the
they're
building.
not even like. So we're like now it's like it's been like 2-3 hours, and it's like we're waiting.
Right.
We're waiting. I'm freezing cold, so they let us go inside, and then now I'm like starving at this point. Starving.
Did
Like
they have any of the concessions open for the
nothing was
employees?
open.
No.
It would have been it would have been nice to have some food, but we had a little granola bar. I put it back, and I was like, all right, let's go. And then we kind of caught wind. All right, I guess the next player was going to be Laffy, and they were out practicing.
Mm.
So as soon as I wasn't sure if like we were going to get Laffy.
Who is that?
Lafreniere
Lafreniere, okay,
on
yeah.
New York.
I thought
Rangers.
there's a few people that came to mind when you said that, and I was like, not sure who you were talking about. But that makes sense. Yeah.
So I was like, I want the young guys. Like I want the young
Yeah,
guys.
because they'll know you more. Like.
Yeah. So I was like, perfect. So he got off the ice. I wasn't sure because the other guy they were like from the New Jersey was gonna be Luke Hughes. I'm like, perfect, Luke Hughesy, young guy. Like,
Yeah.
that's nice. So I'm and they weren't sure because they were practicing if like they were gonna be able to get him for the skit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just get called over, boom, into action right away. He just got off the ice. I'm like, and it's funny because these guys, like the NHL guys, they're not like doing skits, so they don't really know what to do. So like they're relying upon me to like
You have to
direct
carry.
them. I got to direct them, right?
Yeah.
So I turned full on director with these guys. I'm like, stand over here. I need you walking in and delivering the line. This is the line. Chippy, how'd you get in here? So like it's hilarious. I'm telling these guys like how to perform in the skit.
Yeah.
And they were beauties. So Laffy he came in. He's a big boy. So Chippy,
Oh,
I look like a little midget beside these guys. Like
Did they have skates on too?
yeah, it skates on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy. All the comments. Well, Chippy looks like he's 4'2". Like, I'm like, whatever.
That makes
right?
it more funny.
Short king.
Yeah,
King. We're
yeah.
short kings. And then so yeah, Laffy comes in, deliver the same kind of skit, and then right after, so like that, so we waited like probably like 4 hours
Right.
between Frost, and so I'm like starving, and then now I'm expecting now to wait another
And this is all on Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting now to wait another, whatever to get like the New Jersey one.
Yeah.
And then boom, like literally 3 minutes after I filmed that one, Hughes comes out. So
Right.
now I'm like, Hughes, he comes out in his red tracksuit. They look nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, Hughes, you all right? He's a little quieter.
Yeah.
He's definitely like known to be a little quieter. But then yeah, we got him flowing and got him to deliver the line. Came in, and yeah, it ended up being super fun. We cooked it up, and then I wasn't sure how to like edit it. If I should do like 3 separate or like mix them all together. We ended up mixing them all together.
I think since it's the same concept,
Yeah,
it makes
it would have been too repetitive because it was
Yeah.
the same like.
and it's more funny to see how different players react to your skits, like you telling them what to do or whatever. It would have been funny too. I thought if they would let you down, like when they're practicing,
Yeah,
you know,
you're right on the
have them
bench.
on the bench or whatever.
Yeah, it
Like you don't even need to be on the bench, but you could just be behind the glass, like pointing at.
Yeah,
like,
it would
you
have been
like, you-
unreal.
like telling them to go bar down, like.
We didn't really have access to like
Yeah.
like right next to the glass. Like
Yeah,
it was
no.
like they're practicing. We
Kind of off to the side, and
We
they
gotta stay. Yeah, it was
yeah.
off to the side. It would have been dope though. Get
Yeah.
me in there on the bench, like let's go boys,
Yeah.
like actually coaching.
So that was Friday.
Yeah,
And obviously that was pretty fun to kind of get some time to make skits with the players. It's fun because you get to mess around and have fun when you see the players, and they get to see kind of behind the scenes of you making a skit or like be a
Yes.
part of it. Whereas like a lot of people, they'll have time with the players and it'll be they'll just ask a few questions.
Well, that's the difference. The difference was you're getting them involved in the creation.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is only going to be as fun as you make this. So like that's why I said like, you know, let's do this together. Like this is
right.
You know, also like once like they understood like, all right, like because I had a couple times where I messed up my lines, right? I'm like laughing and like redo. I was like redo. We got to redo that.
Yeah.
And then like so now we're trying to make this together, and like it's only going to be
once you get someone on your team, it's a lot easier.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, let's deliver this line, and then
right.
The first like Frosty was hilarious. Like it was perfect. He was in it.
Set the tone for the rest of the day. Yeah.
And yeah, it's different than just an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like it was more. It was acting. Like we had the boys acting a little bit. It was a little improv, and it was funny, and that's what I wanted to be. I didn't want it to be just like a sit there and interview, and that's for me. That's a little bit boring. So I was like, let's get these boys flowing a little bit.
Yeah, I love it.
Make them laugh, and that was the Friday.
And then so
now I got to edit that, right? So now
so you got to take some time to edit that Friday night, and then you probably grab dinner. Probably want to see a bit of the Big Apple. Were you up late Friday, or did you pack it in early because you're tired?
Friday, yeah. So we were starving after that. We hadn't had food for 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and stopped at the mall, got a Philly cheesesteak, got something greasy, and then
something to really fill the stomach.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the boys ended up going back to the hotel, and I think we like.
Did you get a New York slice while you were there?
I didn't, bro. All the boys ended up going out without me.
Right.
And then I was so
Did you
tired.
need to edit stuff?
I need to edit, and I was tired, and I was like, oh, I just got to chill out. Like, I just surfed all day.
You got to do some Uber Eats to the hotel, buddy.
I'm still thinking about Surfer Girl. I was like, you boys go out without me.
You got distracted.
I got distracted.
Oh, man. Okay, so Saturday. Let's go over Saturday. 2 games, right?
1 game on Saturday.
1 game on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I thought that there was 2 games on Saturday for some reason. That makes a lot more sense. See, I didn't watch either of them. I just saw the highlights. So were you able to, like, where were you sitting?
I was
number 1.
Sitting, it was actually a sweet spot on the Saturday section. There's like 200, like, you need to be a little bit elevated at those.
You can't see unless you're higher up.
Yeah, so it was like a perfect little spot on the Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
That was a night game. That was the 8 p.m. game.
Right.
So it was a little bit colder. But that day was the day I had to post the skit. So like all day I'm like trying to get the skit ready.
Right.
And then it went live at like I went at like 4:30, and then I'm finding right now like the TikTok algorithm is a little bit.
It's hit and miss.
It's hit and miss, and I was like,
it'll go through. From what I've seen, especially with our Puck Daddy account, like we'll have or at least in my mind, we'll have like a banger video from like our drafts and whatnot, and I'm like, okay, cool. It got 10,000 views, but we've had ones that get like 500,000.
There's a million.
Yeah, or a million.
So, yeah, like I'm finding, and as you're making the video for the NHL, you want it to do well. So like it didn't perform as well as I want. It ended up doing decent, but I thought I don't know.
That's just how it goes.
Sometimes you get a little bummed out as a creator because you want it to be accepted, you want it to do well. You made it for the NHL. The video actually ended up doing great, but it was
just initial reaction.
My
velocity when it's not high, you don't get as excited.
I was a little bit down. I was like, oh man, like it ended up crushing on Instagram, but then TikTok just like that's my platform. I want this thing to crush on TikTok.
Right.
As a creator, so you got to detach from the result, and you can't control it. So, it was good. Posted the video, and now it was off to the game.
So you had good seats. You could see decently. Was the game on Saturday? Was that New Jersey and Philly?
Yes. So the boys decided to get after it a little bit on the I don't drink.
Yeah.
The boys decided to just have a couple.
You're babysitting.
And yeah, so they were amped up, bringing a lot of energy.
Right.
And so I chilled back. I was, just it was a great game. We ended up staying for pretty much the whole game. And then that's when the boys wanted to go out on the Saturday.
Right.
They were feeling it. For me, I was a little bit tired. I just, filmed. It's exhausting. Like filming those skits.
Mentally draining. Yeah.
Mentally draining because you got to be on.
Even when I'm like doing an event with Jeremy.
Yeah.
I'm not even responsible for the content.
Yeah.
But I help him create it, and then I'm like going through the process of like helping him like think about what to do, and then like getting it ready to post and all that stuff. And even if I'm not doing anything, you still feel it from being there and knowing that you need to come up with something good from it. Also,
being in a rink with like 80,000 hockey fans, like it's also I'm a little bit not on edge, but like people, I am getting noticed.
Everyone there takes a little bit of your energy until the end of it, where you're exhausted.
Yeah, so I'm like, I get home, I'm exhausted. I'm like, it was all right, boys. You guys go out. I'm gonna chill back.
Right.
And then
You should have ordered some New York pizza.
I know. I ended up I ordered Popeyes, and it was a mistake.
That's a mistake.
It was a mistake. Like I'll say that for sure. It was.
You got to get the local slice.
Well, yeah, I know. It was not local. I was in New Jersey, and it was like, and so we were literally right across from MetLife Stadium.
Right.
And
But you could Uber Eats, whatever.
You couldn't walk, but you couldn't walk to the stadium. So I just finished spending $100 US to get back from the stadium, literally across the road, because it was.
Got to work into that deal. Get Neil to give you guys Uber credits for.
I know.
To get around.
100 USD to get from the rink back. So I'm like,
jeez,
the
surge
boys
charges.
Go out. I can't afford to go out right now. So they went out, but then in the next morning we had breakfast at it goes to 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys. So my one buddy Ben, he couldn't make it up for the 11:30 breakfast. So we go down at 11. And then I get this funny idea of we got to bring something up for Benny, but you got to sneak it out of the buffet because the buffet's closed. So we got bananas, yogurts, putting the spoon up our shirt. It was I was like, this is a perfect idea for a skit.
Yeah. Like
when your buddy can't make it down for the 10 a.m. breakfast.
Right.
And then film the funny skit on the Saturday or on the Sunday.
So hold on, Saturday the game. Give me the highlight of the game because you're there watching.
Oh yeah.
Was there any mid
Well, I was
intermission show or anything like that?
I was cheering for the Flyers, so I wanted Frosty to tuck one and go under the bunk.
Right.
He ended up getting a nice assist, but my buddies were all cheering for New Jersey, so I was just they're getting after it a little bit. They're high, and I'm just kind of now I'm just a little bit cheesed because I want my team's losing, and they're having too much fun, and I'm like.
So who won? I didn't even see the game.
New Jersey ended up winning.
Right.
So.
Okay. So did you hear it from?
Yeah, the boys.
Benny?
Yeah, the boys are giving it to me. I'm like, hey boys, you just go out.
So were you rocking the New York jersey the whole time, or did you wear something else for that game?
I had my style and flow jacket on.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's sick. Yeah,
it was a power move.
It's your purple one.
Yeah, the purple haze.
That one's nasty.
It's nasty.
Yeah,
it's super nasty.
Okay, so I don't even care about Saturday night. I want to get to Sunday because Jeremy and I talked about Rampy. Is that his first Rampy from New York? New York Rangers. Rempe, yeah. His first NHL game in an outdoor stadium, drops the gloves with Matt Martin in the first 6 seconds or something.
That's such a power move.
And it was on. I was telling Jeremy this. I heard from the Spit and Chicklets podcast. They were saying that it was to the date his 6 years since he lost his dad. Yeah. And he was 15 when it happened, and just what an emotional day. Jeremy and I already talked about it, but I wanted to see what was the energy 80,000 people seeing a rookie do the rookie lap one and then fight in the first 5 seconds.
So no one knew why this. No one really knew why he was out there skating around. We're it must have been it. Because he came out when the guys were still getting the ice ready.
Right.
So there was 6 guys on boots.
Yeah.
While he was doing his laps.
I noticed his lap.
We're is there someone out there right now?
Usually it's a rookie lap. He did he did a bunch of figure eights. He was out there.
He was buzzing around the guys getting the ice ready.
No puck either.
No puck.
Yeah.
So it was it wasn't an obvious rookie lap.
It's is this the the player they have come out that just got won an experience or something?
Yeah, exactly. Is this what's going on here?
Yeah, he's a little big to be a kid skating around the ice, you know? You don't have the kid skate around with the flag or something.
So the rink actually, it was so busy that it took they delayed the game either because of the ice or because people couldn't get into the stadium because it was so packed.
Yeah.
So I think they actually delayed it for that reason.
Usually those stadiums, they only expect to sell out. Was it an NFL stadium or
it was NFL. It was MetLife. It was
okay. They'll sell out
79,000.
Yeah, okay. Because I went to one in Edmonton and it was a 50,000, 60,000 stadium, and they don't ever sell it out.
Yeah, no, this
because
thing
it's
was
not an NFL. It's a CFL stadium.
79,000 out of 80,000 were. I think 1,000 seats were because they had to take them they couldn't they would have been sold out.
Right.
So I guess people didn't get packed out till mid through the first.
Right.
So he comes out and then I guess someone scored 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just scored, and then next thing, bro, they dropped the gloves. It was 70. This must have been the biggest fight in the world. No, no one's ever fought in front of 80,000 people.
Oh, true.
No,
you just mean from a sheer numbers perspective.
It was literally Coliseum.
Right.
these two, like, we're in a Colosseum in like the Roman Empire times, watching two people fight.
And it's in New York too, so were people rowdy? Like,
it was rowdy, bro. It was insane. Like, it was like literally 80,000 people watching two guys punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
Like, I think that has to be the biggest fight to ever happen. I guess in the Coliseum, maybe back in the day. Like,
I don't know.
Like, UFC's never had a fight that big. There's never been in a football stadium, has there?
Not in person, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, 80,000 people watching these two go toe-to-toe at center ice.
That's normal. It's not like they're not getting ejected from the game. It's not like a wrongdoing.
Not a wrongdoing at all. Bare knuckles.
In fact, it's an honor.
Bro, the crowd was going crazy. That was the.
Did you see them after too? Martin and Rempe, however you pronounce his name. They were talking to each other across the benches.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, I think I don't know who posted it. Probably like TSN or something. But it looks like typical, like, oh, they just fought, they're beaking each other. It's right. But obviously they don't have any beef. It's the kid's first NHL game. It was more like, hey, welcome to the show. Great fight.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah, that's like, hilarious. Welcome. Yeah, that
was a good tilt.
First shift, first 5 seconds. Toe-to-toe with Matt Martin in front of 80,000.
Well, that's a big boy.
That's a power move, bro.
Matt Martin is like, he's big.
Heavyweight. He's a heavyweight.
He's a heavyweight. And this kid
is a heavyweight, too.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He's
got a long reach.
What is he, 6 foot?
You see him skating, he's got like the jump in his step.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, this guy. Yeah, I had no idea who the guy was. I'm like, these guys are going toe-to-toe in front of a big crowd.
Yeah.
And it was a long fight. It was a great fight.
Yeah. So who won that game? Did your New York Rangers
win? So we ended up having to go a little early, and then we missed the comeback.
Oh no!
They came back, dude. I was like, they were like down like 4-1 or something. So we made it 4-2, and then
it was an electric.
Well, I didn't want to spend another 100 something on an Uber, so I was like,
oh, you're trying to beat the surge pricing.
So I was like, all right, let's go, and then
we got the content we need. Let's go.
Yeah. So it was funny. I filmed a skit in the.
Well, if you'd leave with like at the end of the game, you're talking at least like
2 hours.
2 hours to get out of there.
So I was like,
and that's not to get even to your hotel. Like that's
and we had already been to the game the day before, so we'd already like seen an outdoor game, and low key we didn't pack well enough for the cold.
Yeah. So
we were a little bit chilly.
Right.
And also my stomach was off because I had been eating chili cheese fries and
and Popeyes
steaks and Popeyes, bro. And I'm telling you, my stomach was off the whole game. Like, I ended up filming a skit when your stomach's off at the Stadium Series.
Because you're just real with
bro.
It was not a skit. It's
no,
just
it wasn't
real
a skit.
life.
I'm like, yo, film this. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
So we ended up filming a couple skits, like, pretty funny.
So that's great. And then you had obviously the long drive back.
Yeah.
The drive back always feels longer because there's not any anticipation or excitement to it, really.
Yeah, and we were exhausted.
Jared and I filmed the podcast yesterday. You weren't up for it. You needed to go into a coma for 24 hours.
I ate like crap for 5 days and barely had any sleep.
And you were trying surfing with new muscles you'd never used.
Surfing, you're interviewing players.
Sleeping on a chair.
Having Shake Shack, chopped cheese, and sat in a car for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, bro, like, I slept till about like 1. I was like, bro, I can't even function right now.
So give it a rating out of 10, though. 5 days in New York.
10 out of 10. We ended up getting a whole vlog, like a vlog style, kind of a Nelk style.
10 out of 10. What about, like, compare it to all the other events you've been to? Was it a 10 out of 10?
That was my 10 out of 10 because I had all my buddies with me. All 5.
It's always about who you're with.
Yeah,
it makes a big difference.
So it was like last year I went with my dad, just my dad. We traveled all the way to, which was awesome going with my dad. But
the road trip is almost more fun with you.
Also, yeah, it was fun with Pops, but it was easier to have my 5 buddies there when I was filming with the players. Because I had 5 of my best friends sitting right next to me.
Right.
It allowed me to like
the peer support almost
be my character more.
Right.
Whereas I said it was just my dad and like like nervous and like it just allowed me to like my buddies my 2 buddies filming both angles.
Right.
I just introduced them to the NHL guys and I was like, all right, this is like I'm meant to be here.
Right.
And my buddies are here supporting and it just felt like I got in a character. There was no nervousness. It was like no, we're here to do this and this is what I've been doing for 3 years now.
Right.
And we're meant to be here. So that's what it kind of felt like. And so we were filming like kind of a Nelk style, like going surfing. And then next thing you know, I get Kyle from Nelk follows me and then hits me on Instagram.
No way.
Yeah, bro, hits me on Instagram and he's like, "Yo,
full send."
I won't say what he said, but there's something coming in the future. So
that's sick, man.
Yeah, but it was that was wild because I grew up watching Nelk. Like I was an OG Nelk fan. Right. I kind of want to do Nelk approach to vlogging.
Right.
And so it's just cool to have that. And then what else crazy happened?
Get him on the pod.
Yeah, we can get Cam Atkinson on the pod for sure.
Yeah.
So
We've been saying it for like all the time. We have people that we can get.
Yeah, I just gotta ask him.
Right, like,
come on.
And we'll drop it as its own feature episode. And
so I think we're gonna get a lot of players coming through.
Might as well line up one like every other week.
Joel Farabee.
Like we'll have 1 week normal, line up a guest every other week or something like that.
Yeah, Byfield for sure. Nasty goal.
You invite him.
Yeah.
I'll figure it all out.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
No, I think we're gonna have a lot of players coming through.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was great.
Yeah, I talked about that that was a wild.
You got 5 days to catch up on.
Yeah.
So I haven't.
Well, it was also like it was kind of behind the scenes. Like it was cool because the NHL gave me access, and shout out to the NHL for that. And it's just cool being able to share the kind of stories with people who you're like, oh, what was it like going to
exactly.
Players and
let us know down in the comments what Chippy should do when he has time with NHL players.
Yeah,
next.
facts. Yeah,
because like it's always fun to see what people's ideas are, right?
100%. Give you some ideas for NHL players for sure.
Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Gonna change the world with my hockey stick. Gonna make a real difference. Feed the poor and heal the sick.